Hello everyone, my name is Camilo Escobar. I'm one of your TAs. Today we are going to do a lab on the usage of Adobe XD to do some prototypes of for your apps. So let's start. In order to make this lab, you need to have Adobe XD. In case you don't have it, you can use a NUCAC Virtual that is provided by the university. It's like a set of virtual machines that you can access via a Chrome browser, uh, and allows you to have like this kind of applications installed. They have like I think 8 uh, available machines that have Adobe installed, and in this case I'm using actually one of those virtual machines to make this lab. So first we are going to do an application, a prototype in Android. Uh, we are going to see why Android and not iOS in a minute. So in order to start, we are going to need, once we start Android, Adobe XD, we are going to select like the kind of device that we are going to use. In my case, I'm going to use a Google Pixel 5. And once I select that, Adobe XD is going to enter into like edit mode, and it's going to present me like a blank canvas of the device, like a blank canvas with the device dimensions. So once we are here, since we are going to do an Android app, we are going to need to use like the Android components, right? And for that we are going to use the library that is like has the material components. In order to do that, we are going to enter here where it says like go to libraries. I already added, but we are going to see how we are going to do that. So we click here in get UI kits. This is going to redirect us to another web browser page tab, and here we are going to get access to UI kits for Apple and also for Google, and also for some components in AEM, also for IVM, Amazon, Bootstrap, and several stuff. Here we have two options. Since we are going to use Android, we can use like to add to our libraries the UI kit, or we can download it. The first thing is, if we add it to the library, we are going to have access to it in every project like I have here. If we download it, we are going to get a file that is like one of these. That is a project that has all the components like installed, and we can get like a view of all the components in like already design applications, or not design applications but examples. So let's go first with the adding the library. So I'm going to go back a little bit. When we click in this add library, we are going to get into this view. Here you need to be logging into your Adobe account, and then you need to click here in where it says like follow library. Once you click on that, you are going to need to go here into Adobe XD. Here you need to go to your library, and in your library you need to click in here where your libraries that are in your online account are going to be like downloaded or like synchronized with your device, let's call it. Once you have clicked here, you need to wait like at the most 1 minute, and you are going to see here like the library for Android, where you are going to get like a view of the colors. Let me like shrink this. Also like the style for the letters, and finally all the components. As you can see here, it's not that easy to see which component is each of these, so I recommend you to go here into the top right corner and click here and set like grid, and in the grid you are going to be able to see the component, like the image of the component, rather than the like the title or the name. So this is going to be easier for us to then like design our application, right? So the other option that I mentioned it before was using like downloading the kit, right? Sorry. So once we download the kit, we are going to see one of these files. In this case, we are going to open the Light theme. And once we open that, what we are going to see it's like an example or like a set of views with all the possible components that Android has. So let's give it a few moments to load. Okay, while this loads, what we are going to show you is what happened with iOS is that when we only have like the opportunity to download the kit, once we download it, we are going to get a file that is format DMG, and these files are only able, like, you can only open those if you are in an Apple machine. So since we are doing this in a Windows machine, in a Windows virtual machine, we are not going to be able to open this like native. But once you open that file, you are going to see two files similar to these ones, one with the light theme and one with the dark theme, and you will be able to open those files and get the similar example, a similar result as this one, in which you are going to be able to see like all the components that you have. Like a small version of this, it's presented in the following video. I will give you the information of this video later.
Elements,
So,
as you can see down
as you can see, there are like options and like a small presentation of how all the elements are like present in iOS. And as like result of that, in this file you can like zoom, and you can start copying and pasting all the elements that you want. So to do that, we are going to first get one app bar. Yeah, so let's get this one. Let me be a little bit zoom. So I'm going to grab this one, we are going to copy, and we can go here and add it to our design. Once we have added that, we can move it like freely to the border, and now we can, like, let's say, extend it to our taste. However, as you can see, this is not like keeping the proportions between the elements, right? So what we are going to do first is like to undo the changes. Let me do a little bit of zoom, and then we are going to select the element, and here in the transformation you are going to see like a small lock. Here we are going to lock like the dimensions, like the relation between the dimensions, and now we are going to be able to extend this component without like losing like the, let's call it, relation between all the dimensions of all the components. Once we have added here this, you will think like this is an image, I want to like modify the text. So what we are going to do here is, once we select like this canvas, we are going to go to here, and here we are going to see all like the small canvases that we have created. So once we select it, we see that this is our canvas. This is the Google Pixel 5 one that is in the top here, and here this is like a folder with all the components that are in here. So we can enter into this folder, and we are going to see that here we have two bars. The first one where we normally have like the notifications and the time and this kind of stuff, and the second one with our app bar. Then we can also click on that again, and we are going to see that there are several elements in here. So now that we have the page title, we can edit the page title here and say my app. Oops, sorry. So this component now is going to be called my app here, and that's mainly. So now what we are going to do now is we are going to add a bottom bar, an up bar, but for the bottom. So we are going also to go into here. We have some examples here of what are the bottoms up bars. There are these ones, but I prefer to use like one of the more common ones that are here, the bottom navigations. One of the things that you are going to see here is that this might happen with the elements. So now that we had copied this, you might going to click here and to paste, sorry. And even if you click here to lock the relationships, once you extend it, maybe it's only one element that is going to get like modified. This can happen, it's like normal, and you will need to make small modifications, but you need to be aware of that, like that could be happening. So you can select again the icon, put it in the correct order here. Since these are a group, you're going to see here, we are going to need to select the correct logo, the correct icon here, and once we have it, we are going to center it. And now we have our like first version of our application, right? So now how can I add like a new view here, right? The first thing that we are going to do here is to go here where it says like work table, and we are going to click here. Since we already selected the Google Pixel, once we click here, we are going to get another Google Pixel 5. That is going to be like our default from now on. And before doing anything like a change, we need to go back into this selection mode, because if we keep this here clicked, we are going to generate another work table, right? So for now we are going to select again, we are going to go back to our design. What we are going to do right now is I'm going to select everything, and now I can paste it over here, and right now we don't see anything, but see, if I click here and drag our view, I just copy like the whole icons and components that were here. What we are going to do right now is we are going to do like the drag. There is like a key here, normally the drawer. So here we are going again to go here to our UI kit. We are going to search for that, and we can see that it's in here. So I'm going to go to the navigation drawers. Label. So it will be this one, no, this one. I'm going to copy this. Now we go back to our work table. We are going to select here and we are going to paste it. Now that we have pasted, we can drag it and put it in here. And again, even if we like select to keep the dimensions, if we extend it, what we are going to see is that this view is going to change. We are going to remove this in order to extend it to below. We are going to do some zoom in here, and we are going to need to see what is happening. One of the things that might happen is when you copy this, you are going to get this view. So your drawer is going to not look in the top of everything, and the thing that you need to like having to account here is that the order in which the components are listed here are the order in which they are presented. So since this is our drawer, we need it to be in the top of the stack. So we need it to be like as first element in order to like show as a normal drawer. Now that we have done that, we need to enter again, and we need to make like the changes that we know that are required. So the first one is here. We are going to need to extend this over here. We're going to see here, this is like taking too much space. Here, this is like the selected version of the menu that we are going to put it over here while we put this in here, like next to the border where it should be, over here. And this is one of the components that you might be interested into, because this is called a repeat grid. You define which element is going to be repeated in the grid, and once you need to like generate more of this, you just pull this down, and it's going to generate the amount of elements that fit into that view. So right now in this repeat grid, I'm just going to put one less. Oh no, let's put it in here, right there. And we are going to put again our, sorry about that, we are going to put again our selected element in top of, no, I'm not hitting it, yeah, in top of one of the elements. So this looks good, so we are in here. Okay, so until now we have done these two views that are not the best views, but are already some views. And what we are going to see right now is how we are going to make like a prototype out of this. So here we are going to go to the prototype tab, and we have two options. Maybe we can go here and we are selecting the whole view, and we are generating like an action that happens that could happen in any part of the view. But what I want to do really is only when I click on this burger menu, I want to go to this view. And when I click here in outside, like in any part of this view, I want to go back. So since I'm here in Google Pixel 5.1, I'm going to search for the element that represents the burger. So right now, if we click here, we are going to see down. and here I'm going to be in the top, so we are getting closer until here. I know that this mask group have my app, and I know that here I'm like seeing exactly that component, right? So now that I know that that component is being selected, I can grab this arrow and take it into this view. Yeah. And what we are going to do right now is we are going to select this view, and once we grab the arrow, we are going to click to go back. So here we just have created like a type of event. So yeah, it's really amazing what we have done, but how we can do that, we can see that. We are going to go here into this play button, and when we click it, we are going to get this view. So this in this previous view is going to show us like the selected component, the selected view. So we are going to start here, and you can see that if I click anywhere, there's like no action, no problem. But if I click here, we are going to go into the other view, and when I click in any part of here, we are going to go back, right? One of the things that we can go and select here is once we have the different types of elements. So we have here, sorry, allow me to grab here. We are right to select this action. We can here define what is the type of event that we want to be the trigger to our event. So if case we have also another action that could be like drag from the left part of the view into the right part, we can do here with this drag triggering. So that's our lab. You can play with all the components that we have here. So we need to go back to design, and you're going to find here all the elements and like kind of components that Android has as inside of the material. Also, you can use the UI kit that has like several like, let's say, predefined interactions inside of the Android. And in case you have an Apple, you can like go and try to see this one that is for Apple. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please reach us with your questions via Teams or email. Thank you so much.